is February 13th and a Tuesday of 2018. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on today. I'm happy yesterday kind of took like a more, well, that is sort of crooked. I still haven't messed with my desk and stuff yet, so, hold on. I don't know that that's really any better. Oh well. I'm not important. It's what I'm talking about that is. Okay, so let's take a little gander through. Where is my... There we are. Okay. Hope you all had a good Monday. All right. Sorry, folks. Got a little disorganized this morning. Cool. All right. Let's take a look. Okay. So yesterday we had a few trades up. Kind of taking more kind of a conservative view of what we're gonna do for the day, because we had such a nice streak going on, all of last week going into Monday. Wasn't seeing a whole lot of great setups. Some areas were kind of questionable and some were kind of iffy as far as if these were going to be good opportunities or not. And I'm kind of happy that we did take a pretty cautious view, because a lot of our trade opportunities would not have panned out very well. In fact, we would have been 100 pips against. Yours truly. I added to some shorts in my euro. I'm still in profit on those from last week. Got into them a little early yesterday. I did take that 122.37 trade, and then I'm looking at adding to them here, or if we get a break of this longer trend line right here, if we get a break, of the euro in this square, then I'm probably looking at going long again here. But we'll have to see what goes on. What happened overnight? Well, the biggest mover out of the pairs that we really look at is the dollar yen pair. Now that just fell apart last night. It just capitulated all the way down to from 108.67 to 107.58. So more than 100 pips of movement, and it's looking like it's still exhibiting weakness and wants to go lower. Except we are really oversold. But what are the conditions that are? See, we've already broken these weekly lows. So this head and shoulders pattern is not playing out. I mean, technically it still is, but we got to look at and see what happens here. The September low is 107.31, and so we're barely 25 pips above that. So we should look to see what happens coming into this trading day at that level. It's going to be pretty important. A lot of it is probably due to weakness of the couple things. We have a new moon phase coming up, so we know that prices will move before or after a moon phase. However, we should have a somewhat flat bias, consolidative bias coming into that new moon phase, which is on the 15th. So that's on Wednesday. No, Thursday rather. And we should see some kind of slow adjustment during the next 2 weeks. I don't anticipate a huge move and flush down. I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that. There is a lot of supportive buying structure on our composite index. We are technically kind of slightly divergent on the weekly, but we are showing weakness. But we'll have to see what happens here. There is a strong case for reversal to the top side. We'll see what happens during the U.S. session. Let's see what else. We had a New Zealand dollar trade. I think that was a short. I didn't actually say what that was. Okay, so it's finding some pressure up against this angle right now. That is a very steep angle for it to go past. We'll have to see. This could be a good short entry at, it says at 172.79. That's about 50 pips above where we were looking at yesterday. The pound dollar, 37.95. That was over here, and we're well above that. We didn't really get a break of that yesterday, so that's good. UCAD, we wanted to go long at 126.33. Now, we really didn't get a whole lot of movement. We've really been kind of in a consolidative area ever since the 7th. We've been kind of stuck in this range. If we look at it from this point of view, we are above this pivot. We are wanting to test higher here. We did test this angle, got rejected back down, but we're still kind of trending up here. Looking at this from the pound dollar, it was rejected at that zone. Aussie dollar, we wanted to go long at a break and a hold above 78.40. That one did work out very nicely. Not hanging on to that one. Actually, I didn't even get a trade in on this one. That's unfortunate. And let's see. Gold. Gold. Gold is moving over to this angle here and wants to test it. We have, so in our time cycles, we're gonna get, sorry, my leg itches. We've got some analysis we need to do here because we had some very good signals off of time cycles last week. Good time cycles off last week. We had great entries last week because we were going off the weekly, so we should expect a pullback. In fact, actually, we've kind of had 2 weeks of movement in some of our big movers, like the New Zealand dollar. That moved over the last 2 weeks. Actually, we've had great trades on New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar. So we should expect a little pullback, a little movement. Look at where we're at here. When we take we take it from swing to swing here. We've had a 50% retracement that was bought there, a rejection at the 0.618. But we're looking to see how price is going to respond further at these levels. If we can get a break of the 50% retracement, we could have a really good entry based on the weekly. On the weekly with the dollar yen, I wonder why. There we go. Okay, so right below us in the dollar yen, probably have to unlock the scale here. we have supportive angles here and here. So we do have some supportive zones. So like from 107.66, you know, to about 50 pips down is a supportive buying range, okay? It'd be very bearish for us to collapse through this. But for the time being, you know what? I need to add a that is so weird. I wonder why that's like that. Don't mind me. Need to go to 112.46. Oh, that's not right. And 108.96. Okay. All right, yeah, we do have some supportive buying right there. Just wanted to collapse kind of right on the inside of that. We can get rid of this trend line. We can get rid of this trend line. So actually, we have a good buying opportunity showing up on the dollar yen again. This is a very, very steep move that the dollar yen has made. We may have a lot of further weakness, but at the same time, we should be looking at some type of retracement, a large retracement, and keep our eyes out for that. I'm going to look to see how this goes in the morning, because as the morning goes, as we're talking, we may find some good opportunities. Okay, let's get busy with the... Oh, let's go over cryptos quick. Oh, well... Okay. Bitcoin. Bitcoin made some good moves yesterday. You know, we went from 78 up to 88.74. Looking at it from this perspective with this square, which I really like. We're kind of in a funky area right here because we're still following this trend, but we're kind of trading below it a little bit. But we are kind of hugging a trend line here. And if we do get some type of fall through, if we do get some kind of drop down, we're limited to the 7,600 area and this angle. But you know, the trend is certainly still up. We have had a lot of bullish buying participation. We had some pretty normal selling right here, although that selling volume is dropping off. And you know, it's kind of, Litecoin's got a good structure. Ethereum's kind of experiencing the same kind of formation that Bitcoin is. But we should remain very bullish on these pairs. They're showing a significant amount of resilience and strength. And let's go through our analysis, because now that we've had these big moves, it's time for us to look at where we are in relation to the last major swing. So let's start with the dollar, or the euro dollar. All right. Oh, price got rejected right off that harmonic there. That's a good sign. So let's take a peek where our levels at from swing low to swing high. We found support at this upper range here at 122.44. Oh, didn't want to do that. But we want to take a peek at our counts. This is important. So this was the most recent swing high. And we want to start the day after, and we want to do a count. So in 11, and we do calendar days for this. So I'm looking for a couple time periods. I'm looking for 7 days. I'm looking for 14 days, and I'm looking for 21 days. All right. But ultimately, the big zones we look for are the 49 to 52 days. All right. Those are kind of our first big cycles we want to look at. And we want to know, are there other Gann dates around this time period? Now, why 49 and 52? Well, because 49 and 52 days, that's, remember, 7 times 7 is 49. 7 is a big number in Gann's. That's the number of completion, the number of the end of a revolution. And 49 days or 7 weeks, that's his death zone, he calls it. That's the end of big moves in time. So, you know, what we're looking at this date as our next kind of area to see what's going to happen. If we want to look at it from our current square here, then we know that 49 days from that all-time high, or 52, is we're near this pivot in time. We're near the 21st. Okay, that's a big deal, all right? We could actually, depending where price is at, we know, and how it's trending, we know what's going to happen around here, because the 21st of this isn't all of my notebooks, but okay. March 21st, we know that's spring. That's 90 days from December 22nd. So there's usually a spring rally or the culmination of a move. Now, looking at what's going on right now, it looks like we could have the culmination of a move. We could get some range trading going on here for the next little over a month. All right, and that is a 90-day move from December 22nd. So we're looking at another area for trend reversal. All right, and let's also look at moon phases. Okay, so February 15th. All right, okay, yep, this is good. We have a pivot happening here on the 16th. But the 15th is a moon phase, so we can look at prices coming down. Then we also have the next one is, what did I say? February 15th. Where is this at? New moon February 15th. Full moon on March 1st. What happens? Where's March 1st? All right, that's near another. Why is that all the way over there? It should be right there. You know, we're near a midpoint in our 64-day cycle. Okay, that is important. Let's go back to here. So we've got these dates. And then we've got March 21st. And then we've got May 1st. Day before. So we've got a lot of cyclic activity happening up here. Looking at our other time frames, so if we're going, we want to look at see what happens after periods of 7 days after swing highs and swing lows. So, we had a return, but then it sold off. Then let's look at 14 days. That was a pivot. And then let's look at 21. Yeah, we should be looking at a bearish bias going into the 21st. Certainly looking at the next date coming up here. Tomorrow. Rather, the 15th, we should look at a bearish bias as well. Well, because we'll be in a new moon. And remember, new moons mean that if price is at a swing high or a swing low, or a historical important high or low, which we are at for a lot of those, then that means that we have a high probability of price reversing. All right. So we can have that bias going into any of these trending markets. So looking at what's going on with the UJ, very bearish outlook in the short term. However, if we're going to use a little L, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. Okay. If we want to look again at this look, then what we have going for us, since we're not at market lows, we can even be trending up for a week and a half to 2 weeks going into the next moon phase on the 1st. Or, yeah, that's actually good probability. So let's start doing some long-term projections off these areas. Let's do some trading. Now I'm looking at long between what's below us, 107.90 and 108. All right. So we have good long opportunity in between those zones with limited risk to the downside. All right. Looking at the euro. The euro, we could be short anywhere between now we're going to say 124 and 122.44. Or sorry, 123.44. All right. Looking at the gold trade. Let's go to the hourly here. The hourly, I'm gonna hold off and wait to see. I'm gonna hold off here. No trade on gold yet. Aussie dollar. Okay, Aussie dollar is in a. If we want to take a peek here. Let's look at it on the daily. And we know that those other dates up around here, and we're looking at okay, this is a big deal. 11-day cycles. So it goes 11, 22, 33, and then we go to 45. All right. So because it's responded to the first 11-day, we got to plot these out. So 11, 22, 33, we'll go 32, that's as close as we got, and then 45 days. Oh, right there. Boom. Okay, so what we're looking at is 11 days from this swing, wherever it goes, we should have another push down move. All right, until we get to the next, we should have a up move until this 11th, and then consolidative or decreasing move, and then whatever happens on the 45. When we get to about a week or two before the 45, we can kind of see what's happening. You know, we can also plot these on weeklies. We want to look at a weekly chart, all right? And then let's see, count these by bars. So if this was a swing high, you know, got 49 days, not a lot of response there. But into the 13th slash, or you could even say the 14th, we started to have a move. All right. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. $119 days. And actually, if we want to get crazy, let's take a look here real fast at the Aussie dollar. Should have that trend line there, huh? And then there's another one. No, we'll keep this one. There's a longer term trend line before we have any breakdown. We should expect it to come down here though. Okay. US dollar, Canadian dollar, pound dollar. Yeah, we're down. Pound dollar is really kind of taking a hit right now. Looking at this on the daily, let's see what we got. We had a monstrous move here, parabolic move. We're gonna get rid of those trend lines. Keep this one, get off that one. Let's look at this high here at 1. Where did we get stopped? We got stopped at the 7-8 retracement. That's good to know. Time cycles. $11. It's looking a little weak on that going into this. Let's look up 45 days. It's kind of right near a confluent zone. We're still in this structure. That's good. Yeah, Aussie dollar's looking pretty weak here. It's pretty wild. I mean, we're at 11 bars. We don't go by that though. We go by days. 11 days. We might be forming some type of small head and shoulders action here on the Aussie dollar on the daily. Let's keep an eye on that. UJ, it's doing its thing. Euro dollar really wanting to push higher. Look at the volume though. Volume yesterday was nothing. It was pretty weak. That was really weak volume actually all day yesterday. If you want to see something else that was really weak, yesterday's volume in equities. These are the futures, Dow futures, lower than average volume, lower than average volume in the NASDAQ, and lower than average volume in the S&P. So what does that mean? It means that we're going to keep falling down here. All right? Equities should continue to fall down. That's the biggest probability. Okay, we could be looking at some weakening follow through with these other pairs. Let's look at the euro pound. It's certainly come back up to this area. This head and shoulders is not playing out. Getting a lot of strength on this euro dollar because we've broken above this, but this is looking a little hairy right here. You know, the rule of angles is that we'll move to test the next one. So where's the next angle? Well, that is all the way up in Bumsville. So yeah, we're at 90.50. That is where the next angle to be tested is. We look like we have a breakout, possibly. We're not divergent in the composite index. We're above this structure. The weekly, we're right here so far. There's a lot of struggle to keep it down. This could be a pretty bullish setup here. This could be a really bullish setup if we get some follow through buying. But otherwise, yeah, let's hang out of this one. We might not have a whole ton of trades today either. New Zealand dollar. We could comfortably get in a short here with a little risk. And with a stop at 73.11. I don't usually put in stops because I feel like that's every other trader's decision. I personally don't use a lot of stops. Pound dollar, it's growing. Yeah, Aussie dollar's showing more weakness here. Pound dollar maybe catching a bid, but yeah, it's even on really low volume still too. Euro dollar really just trying to keep pushing and pumping. It's got good participation, just not getting a lot of follow through. Gold, kind of the same situation. Dollar index is down quite a bit. We're nowhere near, well, I guess nowhere near. We are near that 88.28 zone. Kind of fell through this area. You know, we don't have volume on this, but I mean, we're in supportive buying on our composite index on the hourly. What's the 8 hour look like? 12 hour. Yeah, pretty much sold when we got extended on that composite index. We really just, you might 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then we could get a 3-step move forming soon, maybe, possibly. 3-step corrective to the top. We'll see. We are way off our 2016 highs, that's for sure. The all-time highs are like all the way back here. I mean, the all-time highs in the dollar index are like $1.25, somewhere around there. So, you know, if you notice what happened if we look at what happened with the highs in the dollar index in December of 2016, compare that with what happened with the stock market in 2016. In December of 2016, rather. Oh, where are we at? November of 2016. Look at this chart compared with this chart. All right? That's pretty normal negative correlation between the two. You'll find that a lot. Anyways, moving on. So, yeah, we're kind of just in a little bit of a holding pattern here. I mean, we do have these there are these longer setup trades between the dollar and the euro. Those are the ones we want to watch. because we have a lot of variance in where we can go long and short depending on people's comfort. And yeah, I mean, we should expect price to respect this angle. If we look at it on where are we at? If we look at it from this perspective, we're kind of getting the same angle here. This is a square of 192. That's what this square is based off of. Pro tip: law of vibration in Gann's methodology is 192 days. 192 days from any swing high or swing low. I honestly believe that is a more accurate method. 192 days from any swing high or swing low, or 192 days from September 23rd. You can plot out both. So this is 192 days from September, well, further back. Or did I do it on December? December 22nd. Yeah, from December 22nd, December 22nd, 192 days is to the June 30th, and then 192 days from there is January 12th. But I also start over again in the year at December 22nd, and now here's our current square. And if I look at this, I like how price responds to this square very well. Very, very well. And so the angle that it wants to test is that 124 area. But this is very extended. I'm looking at my 3 composite indexes here. I've got oversold conditions on the hourly, the 4-hour, and the 8-hour. I also like to see some Bollinger Bands. Yep, we're touching the upper bands in these extended conditions. Looking to fade that, definitely. Yep, this is a good shorting area. Let's add another style of indicator. I think maybe like for a whole month we'll do something where we only look at the Ichimoku system. And in fact, I might do a video of this system after this. So in the educational library. Yeah, I might do that right after I'm done talking with you guys, because for a lot of folks who struggle trading, the Ichimoku system is probably one of the best learning tools that you could ever have. Just looking at the euro-dollar pair in this right now, on the hourly, this is bullish because we're above the cloud. We're above the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen, or the conversion line and the baseline. And our lagging span, the Chico span, is above the cloud. But this yellow cloud is the 4-hour cloud, and this dark bluish purple one, that's the 8-hour cloud. So really, we're inside those longer term ones. So we're technically, in Ichimoku, this is kind of a squeeze. So when you're in the cloud, you don't do a thing. You don't trade. You wait for there to be a sign of a breakout, one direction or the other. The hourly kind of gives you a little bit of a heads up, but the more honest indications of what's going on is the here. But anyways, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. Let's look at our cryptocurrencies real quick. We're probably going to have better trades going into Wednesday now. Again, there was so much activity last week. We had so many great trades last week that it's not uncommon for this week, most of the week probably, to be a little bit slower. People are taking stuff off the table. Over the weekend, everybody's taking a breather, and now all the traders and the psychology of this is trying to digest what happened last week and what's going to happen this week, and how do we move forward. Okay. So looking at this, oh yeah, Kryptos Bitcoin. So this is good because in Bitcoin we are above the cloud still in the 1 hour and the 4 hour. That's a very good sign. And we are approaching the kind of inside the cloud on the 8 hour, but we're trending. We're getting close to it. Look at where price has traded historically. We have never really traded above the 4 hour chart since we started our collapse down. So this is very bullish, a very bullish sign for our cryptos. Litecoin. Ooh, Litecoin's even got a better kind of setup. I mean, it's very close to a breakout and outside of all three of these clouds. That's a good sign. Ethereum, God, more like Bitcoin. So, again, well, I'm always accumulating Bitcoin on any of these bigger dips. So let's wait to see what happens, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's look at these trades again. Actually, there's really nothing that has changed with our trades. We're still kind of fluffing around a little bit. All right, yeah. So we've got some opportunities with the large variance in the dollar and the euro, and then we have that kind of short-term trade idea on the New Zealand dollar at 72.90, which actually looks like that turned out to be a pretty good trade right away. Yeah, look at that. Yep. Hey, that one's working good for the day. Yeah, just looking at the rest of these. Definitely the Canadian dollar. Sorry, I'm really kind of babbling here, but oil is expected to go lower, which means the Canadian, this pair should be expected to go higher. I'm comfortable taking a long here. That's good risk. I mean, I think the risk reward is very good. Additionally, when prices are at these psychological levels, like if something's at near like 100 or 90 or 133, any of those whole numbers, when price is trading, like if we look at the U.S. Dollar, Canadian dollar, what's it trading at? 125.93. 7 pips away and we hit 126. That's when you see prices trading that close to that kind of a number, odds are price is going to move up to touch it, and it's going to want to, and it's tried that a few times here, and we're getting hints that it wants to go higher because we've got a lot of selling tails here, but we have a lot of prices really trying to poke above it, and we're not. We saw some selling off of that 26.20 level, came down, but we are still above it. I'm cool waiting to see what happens here. I think we do move higher. I think that the probabilities are good that we move higher because we're getting a lot more supportive buying than we are selling at these levels. And we're in a tight consolidation area near a short-term market high. All right, we're near this breakout level. So we should have a fairly decent bias for upside momentum. And our risk, we can have our risk below at 125.39, even higher at 125.50. Yeah, we have some good opportunity for big moves in this U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar pair. So a little longer winded than usual today. Sorry about that. but it's good to get some analysis down on those time cycles and get an idea of where price is moving towards, and seeing what's in front of us so we can forecast more efficiently. And yeah, and again, forecasting is easy. It's an art. All right, forecasting, you can never be wrong in a forecast. Being an analyst and a forecaster is the easiest job in the world, because even if you are wrong all the time, that doesn't matter. It's just like weathermen. Weathermen and technical analysts who like to forecast, we all have the same job. That is explaining tomorrow why the predictions we made today didn't happen yesterday. Okay, that's what forecasting is. Okay. Anyways, little joke. You guys have a great trading day. Careful on the trades. The whole equity market is still in limbo. We've had major swings each way. We have a lot of opportunities coming up here probably tomorrow and Thursday and Friday for trades. But thanks for sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.